Hello everyone, I am Ritesh Chauhan, working as an assistant professor in computer engineering department at Mahatma Gandhi Institute of Technical Education and Research Center, Navsari. So I am going to take this subject, that is artificial intelligence, whose subject code is 2180703. So total there are 14 units in this subject, but we proceed with the unit number 14 because it is important to your laboratories also. And the best reference book for the subject artificial intelligence is Alan Rich and Kevin Knight, which covers all the topics of your syllabus. So the topic which are covered in this video are introduction to Prolog, then the syntax used in Prolog, for example atoms, numbers, variables and all, and then we take the examples on Prolog. Okay. So Prolog, the full form of Prolog is programming in logic. Prolog is one of the most widely used programming language in artificial intelligence research, as opposed to imperative language such as C or Java, which also happens to be object oriented. It is declarative programming language. That means when implementing the solution to a problem, instead of specifying how to achieve a certain goal in a certain situation, we specify what the situations and the goal are and let the Prolog uh, interpreter derive the solution for us. So Prolog is very useful in some problem areas like artificial intelligence, natural language processing, database, but pretty useless in others like graphics or numerical algorithm. By following this unit, firstly you will learn how to use Prolog as a programming language to solve certain problems in computer science and artificial intelligence. And secondly, you will learn how the Prolog interpreter actually works. So let's proceed with the Prolog. So programming in Prolog means describing the world. Using such Prolog means asking Prolog question about the previously described world. So the simplest way of describing the world is to stating the fact like this one, like bigger in the opening bracket elephant comma horse. So this state the fact that an elephant is bigger than a horse. Whether the world described by a Prolog program has anything to do with our real world is of course entirely up to the programmer. Okay, so we previously described all the things in our coding and then we ask the Prolog that is elephant is bigger than horse, then they simply gives the answer like yes or no. Okay, so let's add a few more facts to our little program, like the fact is elephant is bigger than horse. Next, horse is bigger than donkey, donkey is bigger than dog, donkey is bigger than monkey. So this is all upon the programmer, whether he described the fact is true or not. Otherwise the Prolog is going to be give the answer as a false. So after having compiled, if we ask the Prolog system questions or queries in the proper Prolog jargon about it, here's an example. Suppose I ask is donkey is bigger than dog, so they reply us that yes, donkey is bigger than dog. Why? Because we already described this. Okay, suppose you suppose when you ask a Google assistant that who is the current prime minister of India, the system gives the answer that Narendra Modi is the current prime minister of India. But if you ask that who is the prime minister of India in 2025 or 2030, then the system are not able to give the proper answer. Why? Because they does not have any database of fact. Okay, so when you ask to Google assistant that what is the current temperature in particular state or particular city. They will give you because they already have the data. Okay, so this is completely depend upon the programmer. If they state true things in the database, then and only then you can get the perfect or true things as a output. Okay, if I write dog is bigger than donkey, then it is false. It is a mistake of programmer, not the Google Assistant or not the artificial intelligence. Okay, suppose the query bigger donkey dog. Okay, donkey is bigger than dog. That is, the question is a donkey is bigger than dog succeeds because the fact bigger donkey comma dog has been communicated to the Prolog system before. Now, is a monkey is bigger than an elephant? The system gives the answer no, because this is not in our database, not in the fact. Also, it is not a fact, and also it is not in our database. So, it's not, we get exactly the answer we expected. The corresponding query, namely bigger monkey, comma elephant, fails because we are not mentioning that in our database. So let's proceed with the second topic, that is Prolog syntax, that is most important before proceeding the Prolog coding. So the central data structure in Prolog is that of term. There are terms of four kinds. First one is atoms, second one is numbers, third one is variables, and fourth one is compound term. So what is atom? Atom are usually string made up of lower and uppercase letters, digits, and the underscores. Starting with the lowercase letter, the following are the valid Prolog atom. Okay, so how we declare or initialize with the atoms? It must be a lowest letter first, and it is the combination of 1, 2, 3 up to 9, 0 to 9. Also, we can use uppercase, but the first letter must be lowercase. Okay, so this is a valid atom. This B is also valid atom. A, B, C, X, Y, Z is also valid atom. X underscore 1, 2, 3 is also valid atom. So the atom always proceed with the lowercase letter, that you have to keep in your mind. Also, any series of arbitrary character enclosed in a single quote denotes an atom. Okay, so if I write in the single quote 1, 2, 3, then also it denotes an atom because it is enclosed in single quotation. Okay, so if I want to make a long string as an atom, then I have to enclosed in a single quotation mark. Okay, next, number can be in integer or in float. Third one is variable. Now this is also important when you are doing a Prolog coding, how we can declare the variable. So variables are the string of letters. Letters includes uppercase letter and lowercase letter, digits, and the underscore. But it starts with a capital letter or an underscore, just like a C. In C, we can start with our variable name as with the underscore or capital letter or small letter. But here we have to start with the capital letter. So these are the valid variable name. For example, first one is X. This is also valid because it starts with the capital letter. Then this elephant, this is also start with the capital letter. And this underscore 4711 is also a valid variable because it starts with the underscore. X underscore 1 underscore is also valid. My variable is also valid. And this underscore, only underscore, is also valid because it has some meaning. The last one of the above example, that is the single underscore, constitute a special case. It is called the anonymous variable and is used when the value of variable is of no particular interest. Suppose I have used this variable, but I am not using this variable as a printing any number or any character, then and only then I can use only underscore. Okay, this is an anonymous variable, so we can rewrite the numbers or characters on it, but we are not going to use that particular variable. then we can use this underscore. Okay. The fourth one is compound term. So compound terms are made up of functor. It is also known as a Prolog atom, and a number of arguments. It includes Prolog terms, that is atoms, numbers, variables, or other compound terms, which enclosed in the parenthesis and separated by commas. So the following are some examples for compound terms. For example, is bigger in the bracket horse comma x. What this means? Horse is bigger than x. What is x? X is a variable. Horse is an atom. Okay. I already told you that argument we can use as a Prolog term. It may include atoms, numbers, or variables. Okay. Comma f of g x comma anonymous variable, that is underscore comma 7. My functor, this is also an atom. I already told you. It may be start with capital letter, but it is enclosed in single quotation mark. That's why this is denoted as an atom. This is an argument which denotes an atom. So combination of all three means atoms, numbers, and variables, is a compound term. So it's important not to put any blank character between the functor and the opening parenthesis. So this is also known as functor. This name before this opening bracket is known as functor. For this, G is a functor. For this all, F is a functor. Okay. Our Prolog won't understand what you are trying to say. So we have to take care that after this functor, we don't have to specify any blank space. So in Prolog, the word functor is used to refer to the atom at the start of a structure along with its arity, that is the number of argument it takes. For example, if I write likes in the bracket Mary comma pizza, then how we can see this? Mary likes pizza. Okay, so likes is a functor which have two argument. Okay, this like is a functor which have two arguments. So this is known as functor. Functor have one parameter, that is number of argument which are used in likes functor. Okay, let's see another example. So the built-in predicate takes 3 argument. This is a built-in predicate that we can use at the Prolog console. So if we write functor, term, name, and arity, it succeeds if term is a term with functor name, capital name, and arity. For example, if I write functor likes in the bracket Mary comma pizza comma name and arity, so name is a variable, so name includes like. The name of functor is likes, and how many parameter we can here we are using this 2. That's why arity equal to 2. Okay. So the next syntax is clauses. So this is also most important. So what is clause? Prolog program are made up of facts and rules. Now what is fact and what is rule? Fact and rules are called clauses. Now we see what is fact and what is rule. Okay. So fact is a predicate followed by a dot, and predicate is the name given to the word occurring before the bracket in a fact or rule. For example, bigger in the bracket cat comma rat, at last we have to put a dot. So this is a fact that cat is a bigger than rat. Okay. So the intuitive meaning of a fact is that we define a certain instance of a relations as being true. For example, I can write first Prime Minister of India in the bracket, I can write Jawaharlal Nehru. Okay. So that is a fact that we can mention in our database. But they have some rules that a fact is a predicate followed by a dot. We have to put a dot. And what is this predicate? This functor is also known as predicate. And a predicate is the name given to the word occurring before the bracket. That's why this is known as functor. Also, this is known as predicate. before the opening bracket, whichever we are giving the name as an atom is our predicate. Then what is rule? In fact, we know that a predicate which followed by a dot, it is known as fact. But what is rule? Rule allow us to understand that a property of relationship holds based on the preconditions. So a rule consists of a head, that is a predicate, and a body. What is body? A sequence of predicates separated by comma. Okay. So a rule is consisting of head and a body. Here you can see this is head and this is body. Okay. Head and body are separated by sign, this colon and hyphen. Okay, we are already putting here. And like every prologue expression, a rule has to be terminated by a dot. So we have to put dot here. Suppose we are taking one example, that for all x and y, if x is a mother of y, then obviously x is a parent of y. So when we can say that x is the parents of y, if x is a mother of y, or x is a father of y, or x is a brother of y, or x is a sister of y, then and only then we can say that x is a parent of y. Okay, so how we can write in the prologue that parent x is a parent of y if and only if x is a mother of y. So if this body is true, then and only then this head is going to be true. So it have some preconditions, but in fact there is no precondition we have to check. We have to only mention that this is a bigger than this, or this is a prime minister of first prime minister of India is this. Also we can say that Abhishek Bachchan is a child of Amitabh Bachchan. That is a fact. Okay. So in rules, there is a precondition to fulfill this head. When the prologue gives yes, when x is a mother of y, then and only then the prologue says yes, for x is a parent of y. So this is known as rules, which consist of head and body, and it will be separated by colon and hyphen. So there is an important difference between fact and rules. A fact like parent Tom, Liz is something that is always unconditionally true. There is no condition before this. So I can say that Amitabh Bachchan is a parent of Abhishek Bachchan. It is true. So it is a fact. Unconditionally true. There is no condition to prove this. On other hand, rules specify things that are true if some condition is satisfied. Okay, if body is satisfied, then and only head will be satisfied. Otherwise not. So next one is recursive rule, that is also known as predecessor relation. So this relation will be defined in terms of parent relation. The whole definition can be expressed with two rules. The first rule will be define the direct, that is immediate predecessor, and the second rule indirect predecessor. This is known as direct predecessor, this is known as indirect predecessor. Okay, we say some x is an indirect predecessor of z if there is a parentship chain of people between x and z. Okay, here is a parentship chain that x is a parent of y and y is a parent of z. Then we can say x is a predecessor of z. Also x is a parent of z. Okay, but this is a first rule that defines immediate, that is direct predecessor. X is a direct predecessor of z. Here x is an indirect predecessor of z. Okay, so the first rule is simple and can be formulated as for all x and y, x is the predecessor of z if x is a parent of z. So with the help of rule, what we write as a prologue syntax, x is a predecessor of z if x is a parent of z. Okay, this is going to be true when this is going to true. The second rule can be formulated as for all x and z, x is the predecessor of z. If there is a y such that x is a parent of z and y is a predecessor or parent of z. So how we can translate it as a prologue? X is a predecessor of z if x is a parent of y and y is a parent or predecessor of z. Then and only then we can say x is a predecessor of z. So if these two rule going to be succeed, then and only then this head, that is x is the predecessor of z, is going to be succeed. Otherwise not. So now we are going to see some examples based on Prolog coding. So this is also helpful in the laboratory. So how to create a Prolog file, that first we are first I am going to explain that. First you have to open one text file and save it in C:\GNU Prolog. In GNU Prolog you have to open the folder bin and then you have to give a particular file name with extension PL, that is programming logic. So first you have to install GNU Prolog, then and only then you can locate this folder. Okay, suppose I open and my file name is 1.pl and I write the Prolog program that Bhavin's hobby is gaming, Poonam's hobby is dancing, Ram hobby is painting, Rahul hobby is watching movie, or Arav hobby is cycling. Okay, then I close that particular .pl file. Then I have to click GNU Prolog icon. Okay, when you install GNU Prolog on the desktop, you have an icon of GNU Prolog. Whenever you double click or single click on GNU Prolog, you can see that question mark. Now you have to write a file name to compile. For compilation, you have to write a file name that is 1.pl with a single quote, and it must be enclosed with a square bracket followed by a dot. For example, I have a file name 1.pl, then after question mark I have to write in the single quote 1.pl single quote over closing bracket, it must be followed by a dot. Then the program is going to compile with the help of Prolog, GNU Prolog. If there is any error, it will display you. Otherwise, you can ask the program on the basis of this coding. Suppose our compilation succeed, then what? So when I ask the Prolog a query that Rahul's hobby is movie, then it will be say yes or true. And if I ask Rahul hobby is painting, then it will say no. How this will be interpreted from top to down? First argument is Rahul, no. Second argument is Rahul, no. Third argument is Rahul, no. This fourth predicate argument is Rahul, yes. And it will be checked with the second argument. Second argument is movie. But here we are writing painting. That's why it says no. Okay, if I ask hobby x comma painting, then once again it will be go from top. Here x equal to Bhavin, argument 1. Argument 2 is gaming. It will not match with the painting. That's why x is not equal to Bhavin. Then second, x equal to Poonam. But second argument is not matched with this painting. That's why x does not equal to Poonam. Similarly, x equal to Ram. And second argument, if second argument is matched, then it will be show you that x equal to Ram. Okay. Similarly, if I ask hobby x comma y, both are variable, so it will be go from top to down. First word x equal to Bhavin, y equal to gaming. Then there is a question mark. Why it will return question mark? Because it says you, the Prolog says you that you have another alternative for the predicate hobby. What is the next alternative? To see the next alternative, you have to hit semicolon. So if I hit semicolon, then it will give the answer that x equal to Poonam and y equal to dancing. Similarly, once again there is a question mark because there is another alternative for hobby from if we go from top to down. So if I hit semicolon, then x equal to Ram and y equal to painting. Similarly, x equal to Rahul and y equal to movie, and it will be stopped when x equal to Arav and y equal to cycling. Okay, I hope you understand this. This is most important. How argument values are replaced, you can see here. So next program is to ask and print the name with the help of Prolog. So always you have to start whenever you want to ask the or enter the particular character or particular string from the keyboard, then you have to start with any one of the atom. Suppose I am using an atom name, then I have to write colon and hyphen. Then similar to Java, for printing we are using write. Okay, write in the single quote what is your name. This NL indicates new line and read indicates it scans the string from your keyboard, just like a scanf in C. So I read from the keyboard that are stored in variable X. Then I write hello, and whatever we stored in X will be printed next. Let's see. The output is, if I hit name dot this particular atom dot, then what is going to display? What is your name? Then read X. Suppose I write Arav, then full stop. I have to mandatory for ending the statement. I have to add full stop. If I add full stop, then it will be go to the next line, that is hello and then Arav. Because we have right here write X. The value of X is Arav. Okay. The user inputted the string Arav in variable X. That's why when we write this X, it will be printed as Arav. Next one, write a program for addition of two variables. So similar to previous example, first we have to write take one atom. I have taking one atom add. So when I hit on the console add, this will be printed enter number 1. Then Prolog will ask you one number which is stored in N1. Then it will be printed that enter number 2. Then Prolog asks you the number 2. And then I am taking one another variable, that is add is N1 plus N2. In Prolog, instead of using equal to, we have to use is. Okay. So whatever the result of N1 and N2 will be assigned to the variable add. And at last what I do? I simply write the add, printing the add. Okay. Let's see the output. First I have to hit this atom, that is add dot. Then Prolog asks me enter the number 1. I write 5, then dot. 5 stored in N1. This 5 stored in N2. And then add equal to N1 plus N2. That's so the value of add is 10. Then I write add 10. Yes. Okay. This is very simple. I hope you understand what is Prolog, how to write a coding in Prolog. If you have any query in Prolog programming, please contact me. Thank you.